So a couple weeks ago, I did a video on the 10 times moderate Uchiha was actually a pretty chill guy. And a lot of you really liked the format of the video and wanted me to do more just like it. I had some people commenting on my Discord saying like, hey, can you do, a top 10 of blank and blank? And so I thought about it for a couple weeks and I have the perfect video in mind. Obviously, as you can tell, we're talking about Kakashi this time. But obviously, Kakashi is, for the most part, a chill guy. So instead, we're going to count down the 10 times Kakashi was an absolute savage. Obviously, Kakashi has pretty good savage moments, but which ones are the best in your opinion, or in this case, my opinion? On that note, just if you don't agree with my placements on this list, that's fine. Just let me know in the comments what you guys think, but just keep in mind that this is just my own opinion. So again, if you don't agree, that's perfectly fine. I love to hear y'all's opinion because especially since this is my favorite character. So what's your favorite moment of Kakashi that you feel like is just the coldest and the hardest, and which one just makes you feel like, yeah, that's the best character in this show? But before we get into that, if you haven't liked the video yet, please go ahead and leave a like. It really helps me put the video out in the algorithm and just helps me and provides me and inspires me to keep doing videos like this. So if you want to see more videos like this, like top 10s versus battles, what ifs, please like the video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel and click that bell for more notifications for future videos. But with all that out of the way, let's go and get started. So at number 10, I have Kakashi copying Zabuza's jutsu. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone can agree with the first time they saw this. This was actually kind of crazy. We've never seen anything like that prior to Kakashi doing that. Also, the hand sign aspect of Naruto isn't as popular in the later part of the series. So when it comes all the way back to part 1, where hand signs were a much bigger deal, to see Kakashi like be in sync with every single hand sign that Zabuza was putting out, it kind of blew my mind specifically. I don't know about y'all. At number 9, I have Kakashi just pretty much backhanding Zabuza later in the arc. I know this is like really minor, but I don't know. It works better in the anime, although the manga does do a pretty good job of it. But in the anime, Zabuza is just kind of getting more and more pissed. And at one point, he tries to launch his blade at Kakashi, and Kakashi just bam, backhands the crap out of him. I don't know. I thought it was really shocking considering how much of a threat Zabuza was like for the entire fight. And then just to see Kakashi just, again, just backhand like it was nothing. It was kind of crazy. At number 8, we have mid Shippuden Kakashi coming in and coming out of nowhere, completely off screen, off panel, and lightning blading, or whatever you want to call it, Raikiring the crap out of Kakuzu from behind, like out of nowhere. This was crazy, and I know that like it was kind of like a catch-22 because Kakuzu has 4 other hearts, so it didn't really amount to too much. But he did wipe out one of the hearts right from the get-go within like 2 seconds. And prior to that, we were all like worried about how tough these two fighters were going to be. And then so just to see Kakashi just come in and quote unquote get rid of one of the Akatsuki just like that, for a moment it made us feel like, wow, I mean, that was pretty easy. Even like Ino, Shikamaru, and Jojo, like, whoa, Kakashi Sensei like rules, Plus that line from Kakashi in the anime, at least in the dubbed, where like Kakuzu is like, I didn't even sense your approach. How did you even get behind me? And Kakashi's like, sorry about that. Plus Kakuzu kind of following up, being like,
that's it. You're Kakashi of the Sharingan.
And it just reminds you like how much clout Kakashi has in the series. At number 7, I have just a few chapters later, when Naruto had already beaten Kakuzu with the Rasen Shuriken, and Kakuzu is just laying face down in the dirt, and Kakashi goes to tie up loose ends, as Yamato puts it, and Kakuzu is just kind of giving that one little bit of last words about how he's lost the brats and whatever. And Kakashi's like, well, I mean, you did fight the first Hokage, so it's it's no wonder you see us as brats, but it cuts both ways, and he gives like a little bit of a generational speech to Kakuzu. He's like, one by one the future generations will surpass you. But he also has like that little line where he's like, and here you are, hugging the earth like a worm. And he's, yeah, he uses right here to finish him off. Like, I know Kakashi, he only wiped out one heart, but he did a lot of work in that fight. And I think given his performance, he gets to have, a cold line at the end. So I will say that it was just like, you don't really hear Kakashi saying stuff like that. He's just like hugging the earth like a worm. I'm like, good luck. Lord. So yeah, I really like that moment. At number 6, it's a really minor moment, but in the anime, I think I like it a little bit more, and especially in the dub. It's during the war arc after Obito's already unmasked and Kakashi is semi overcome the sudden shock and grief of that Obito's alive, whatnot. And it's after Kurama pulls or throws Kakashi into Obito, and Obito Kamui's him in the Kamu dimension, and he proceeds to try to blitz or confront Naruto, and Naruto punches him or proceeds to punch him, and Obito phases through it, and then Kakashi hits Obito from the inside. Now, the first punch isn't what I'm referring to. It's the one where Obito's face goes into the Kamu dimension after being hit again by Kakashi, and Kakashi's just like in the dub anyway. Anyway,
Oh yeah, that's some pain etched onto your face.
just smacks the crap out of Obito. I was like, dang. I was like, all right, that's pretty clean. Again, you don't really hear Kakashi talking smack a whole lot, so to have him get that line, every now and then, it's pretty savage. I won't lie. Plus, coming off the the revelation and the reassurance that he's finally starting to at least partially overcome his grief, and the sudden shock of it, it's a little bit more reassuring to us. So it just adds to that, in my opinion. At number 5, I have just a couple of chapters prior to that, before Obito's unmasked, and it's actually the unmasking itself that's the entry. As confusing as that is, because we were this entire time that Obito's been force and Shippuden specifically, Kamui has been the most broken ability in the entire series. And even though it only took Kakashi's eye to combat it, it's still really crazy and impressive. As soon as he found out that it was pretty much Kamui that Obito was using, Kakashi came up with the plan on the fly to be able to finally get a blow on Obito. And the final ditch plan, that Kakashi and Naruto kind of came up with, in sync with each other to pull it off, was flawless. It was amazing. It caught me off guard where he, Kamui, the KCM2 clone, heading towards Obito, and Obito was even thinking that he hit the clone and made it disappear. And no, I know he went into the Kamui dimension, and there he is. There's the clone coming right at him. And even Obito himself was like, he beat me to it. Damn you, Kakashi. I was like, oh my God, that was savage. That was amazing. Oh, it caught me off guard. I was so stoked about it. I was like, yeah, you cannot underestimate Kakashi, how precise and just strategic he is. So it might seem confusing that it's on here, but I think that was a really savage moment. At number 4, I have Kakashi Kamuing the nail from Pain in the Pain arc. I was at first gonna, I had this placed with the first Kamui on Datara because I thought that him pretty much sniping Datara's arm off was wild. I thought that was something you'd never expect to see from Kakashi, period. And the fact that it was on an Akatsuki number 2, just, I don't know, just made it better. But honestly, I think his most savage use of Kamui is probably here. I know that's out there, but you gotta remember, Kakashi was at death's door pretty much. He was just stuck in the rubble, couldn't do anything, and we all really thought that it was it for him when Pain had that nail just ready and aimed at Kakashi. I was on pins and needles. I was like, don't do it, don't do it. And then he shot it at him, and then in the manga and in the anime, you have to wait. If you have a couple minutes to find out that he's still alive, but you're like, how did the nail hit him? What happened? And then it's revealed that he freaking play acted. I didn't know you took acting classes in the academy, and because he had Pain fooled, he had us fooled. He pretty much did the movement, at least in the anime it's shown, he did the movement to imply that he got hit by the nail and was pretty much playing dead. But no, he Kamui'd that thing within a second, and Pain didn't even notice. So I don't know, I thought that was so savage, especially when it's revealed. It's even better. I was like, whoa, your mind is blown. I was like, again, you cannot underestimate how precise and savage Kakashi is with Kamui. I'm sorry if this entry in particular sounds like I'm fanboying over Kakashi, but you just gotta remember, in the context of me thinking that it was it for Kakashi and combining that with the revelation of how he did it, I don't know, it's I'm putting it on this entry. I think it's the most savage use of Kamui, period. The number 3, it's just a line that I wish we had seen get followed up in the series. But even then so, the line itself was pretty cold. It's in the war arc right after Kakashi beats Edo, Zabuza, and Haku, and obviously Kakashi is pissed, which doesn't happen often, as he notes in this panel. And he's like, it takes a lot for me to lose my temper, but this jutsu is unforgivable, and so now I'm at my boiling point. And he follows up by saying, "I'm Kakashi, the copy ninja. I know 1,000 jutsu, and now I'll use them all and live up to my name." And like, obviously, we've known that Kakashi has had an arsenal of over 1,000 jutsus that he's copied over the years. And some of us has even questioned if that's actually the case or if that's just like a hyperbole kind of deal. But the fact that he said that and was going to use them all, it was crazy. I really wish we would have been able to see that. At least 20 extra jutsu, however small they could have been. They could have been something as small as like a Phoenix Flower jutsu or like another Earth style variant or something. But I don't know. I know it's kind of like a running joke at this point that we only see like 10 jutsus from Kakashi, even though he has 1,000 in his arsenal. So, but even still, I really like that line because it's his monarch, it's his nickname. And so I really like him Kakashi is never one to boast about himself. So I really like that he does. And it's not even boasting. It's just like him, getting ready to get serious, and so, rightfully so, because we all love Haku and Zabuza. So the fact that they had to go through this ordeal again is, really tough for us as fans. So, I really like this moment. It was awesome. And yeah, so that's where it's on here for. Number 2, it's not really a single moment per se. And technically this is kind of cheating because it's technically filler, but I mean, the whole beginning stages of Kakashi's career in the Anbu was completely savage. The moment that in particular that stands out, and I'm sure that all of you will probably agree, is the moment in the anime where, and with no hesitation, and even the cold looks he gives the Anbu members when they start kind of talking smack. It was like, you could have just, saved one of them so we could have some information. And Kakashi just takes a look at him and just, gets him to shut up. So yeah, his whole beginning, and there's a couple of other moments that are pretty savage in the Anbu, but that one in particular, because it's literally cold-blooded Kakashi, it was pretty cool. Like I said, I know it's technically cheating because it's not in the manga, but I mean, I don't know about y'all. I consider the Kakashi Anbu arc canon because, I mean, Kakashi is a main character, and we always knew he was in the Anbu. So I mean, it's not as if it's technically contradicting the manga or whatever. So and I don't think anyone's gonna really get on me too much about it. I think we all agree that this is a cold moment for Kakashi, like his entire Anbu career, pretty much. Okay, so I have 4 honorable mentions before I list number 1, and the 4th honorable mention, I'll just go ahead and talk about it, and then I'll just show the other honorable mentions. Because I wanted to put it on the top 10, but I didn't have a placement for it. I didn't have a room, so technically it's like the top 11 moments. But I didn't want to gloss over Kakashi's performance in the Kaguya fight, specifically his plan to stop Kaguya, because I think a lot of people overlook that feat, that whole entire plan that was made to seal Kaguya once and for all, that was Kakashi's plan. That was Kakashi's strategy to seal Kaguya, and it worked. And so I think, and even Hagoromo comments on it later on. He's like, "Oh, you're Kakashi Hatake, right?" It's like, "Oh, well, yes, sir." It's like, "Good job sealing my mother. Good job leading everybody and guiding everybody. That was truly the work of the gods." Pretty much calling Kakashi's intellect godlike. So I think that was a really cool moment for Kakashi, especially since it's like the end of the series, and it was such an awesome moment backpacking on him getting the DMS. So I really like it. I think it should be on here on this list. I just didn't have enough room for the top 10. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about that one. So now I'll show you the honorable mentions I think we can all agree are pretty savage moments. I mean, considering who it is. But yeah, I'll just show you those moments, and then I'll list number 1.
Village secret finger jutsu! 1,000 years of death! Of this group, you're a bunch of idiots. Moya Triad? Never heard of you.
You dare to mock us? Who do you think you are?
Who, me? The name's Kakashi Hatake. I'm hardly worth mentioning.
So why'd you even bother?
Okay, so at number 1, I have probably the most infamous savage moment from Kakashi that really, if there was any moment that made me want to actually punch Kakashi, it was this one, but it was still a savage moment. I gotta give it to him.
Behind this mask is another mask.